we have been discussing a number of topics, and if you're not too overwhelmed, I think we should cover another topic of great significance, and that's about depression. So, coincidentally, last week I had a visitor, and I think she's about 30 years of age, and she's a medical doctor. So, when she came, I asked her, why have you come here? What is the purpose? And she said, among other things, I wanted to find out if you can give me a spiritual solution to a mental problem that I am facing. I said, what is that? She said, I'm experiencing depression. I said, wait, when you say you're experiencing depression, that means you've already come to a conclusion that you are indeed suffering from depression. But before coming to a conclusion, isn't it important that you find out whether you really know what depression is? And she said immediately, of course I know what depression is. I feel very tired. I don't get proper sleep in the night, 4-5 hours of sleep. That also is too disturbed. I don't feel energetic to do things. I used to do a lot of work before. Now I don't feel like doing it. So there's always lethargy. I said, wait, all these things that you described, it really does not mean it's depression. They are all the effects of some condition of your mind. You can't really come to a conclusion that it is depression. These may be reflective of some traces of depression, but to come and confirm and say that I am going through depression, that doesn't seem to be all right, particularly you're a doctor. So she said, oh, if that is not depression, what is depression? I said, the reason why you came to a conclusion that you are suffering or experiencing depression is because of the word depression. To understand anything in this world, first of all, we must look at the thing without an association of the word with it. And you know and I know that we are all caught up in words. And words really do not give us the information in its entirety. It's meant for communication purposes at a surface level. But if you want to know more about depression, obviously you have to delve into it to find out what depression is all about. Then she said, how is that possible to look at something without the word? I said, it's absolutely possible. Now for a moment think that you went on a plane ride and the plane crashed into a no man's island and you're the sole survivor. Then obviously, first thing that will come into your mind is, will I be able to get out of this island and go back to humanity? And you see just all vegetation all around the place and you're just all by yourself. Obviously, fear will come into you right away. And the fear that you may not reach the place. And then you'll become anxious as days become nights. And as more days pass by, your fear, your anxiety will lead you to a state where you will probably start thinking, I may not at all reach humanity. That's a state where you're going to feel something extraordinarily difficult to grapple with. Just describe to me. She said, I don't think it will be called as depression if I don't know it is depression. And obviously I don't have access to Google and search engines. So I have to look at it without the word, without knowing anything about this, and look at it all by myself. I said, exactly that. When you look at something as a fact without the supporting word, you are dealing directly with the fact. And at which point in time, obviously, none of the thoughts that belong to your memory will come into play. You have dispensed with the thoughts because now you are dealing directly with the fact the fact that you have some kind of a feeling which is not good for you. It's a sad feeling. Okay, so shall we call it for a moment that this is some kind of a sensation that you are experiencing inside your mind? She said, yes, that's absolutely the right thing. And then I said, okay, leave that for a moment. Now we have to understand what experience really entails. As you know, in every experience, there must be two things. One, who is the experiencer, and the second is the object of experience. So for example, if I'm looking at this world, obviously I'm experiencing this world. In this case, I am the experiencer, and the world of objects is the object of experience. Very clear. And there's a clear division between me and the object of experience. In fact, there is a distance between me and the object of experience. Now, just superimpose this understanding onto the state of your mind in which you are experiencing some kind of a sensation, a sad sensation. It is a sensation which is being experienced by your mind. Now, in this experience, who is experiencing the sensation? You can say, I'm experiencing this sensation which is part of my mind. That's where I'm experiencing this. Then obviously you have to ask the question, isn't this mind part of you? Is mind and you two different things? She said, no, it's my mind. Obviously then it's me. Is there a distance between you and the mind? Is there a division where you can clearly say that I am experiencing a sensation in my mind where there is a division between me and my mind? She said, no. So where is the question of experience? Because we had just now talked about the requirement in experience as two being the experiencer and the experienced object. Here, there is one person and the experienced object is also part of you. So there is no two people here and there is no division as well. If there is no two people, can there be any experience at all? She said, wow. So that means you're not experiencing anything, including that state of sadness, the sensation. It's gone instantaneously. So now you try to understand, when you strip the word out and directly come into contact with what is the fact, you come to the understanding that really there is no experience. Of course, there is another issue, and that issue is about the recurrence of such situations. And for that, we have to eliminate the cause of this condition or state of mind. So now we have to understand, where did this state of mind come from? Obviously, it must be like in the case when you were in the island, you start getting worried. You start thinking, what will happen if I don't reach the humanity at all? So it's all about your thoughts. And thoughts, you must know, is nothing but a response of your own memory. The memory that is created inside your mind based on all the experiences that you have gathered. So now I want to tell you that if these thoughts did not exist, would you reach a state where there is a recurrence of the same issue, assuming there are no thoughts? So she said, no, I know that it's a thought which is causing this problem. So now I'm going to say, why don't you get rid of this thought and memory, the entire bundle, basically you who is nothing but the bundle of the past, memory, thoughts, all of that. She says, no, that is not possible. I said, why not? Because in the psychological realm of your being, you don't require any memory at all. Because there is not something that you are going to perform repeatedly where you require that knowledge stored to be recalled, like you do it in the functional world. If you are driving a car, you need to recall and say how I start the car and I move. What is it that you have to do here? You don't need that memory. So why can't you dispense with that? No, how can I then function? She said. Of course you can function very comfortably, because when you remove or completely get rid of this memory, what really happens is you have gotten rid of you yourself in that realm. But you can still function because there is something more powerful behind you, your thoughts, your ability to function. And that is the consciousness. That is the pure intellect. So when you look at this structure, this entire structure of the experience of depression and the recurrence of this on account of thoughts, you look at it as the witness consciousness, because you are the consciousness. You know that you have the consciousness. When you look at it from that angle, then all of these things will become very clear. And what clarity you get? You get the clarity that this thought has been bothering me and I must get rid of it because it is a danger for me and my life. And when you feel that, you can instantaneously get rid of it. Because in the psychological world, disturbance cannot be, cured over a period of time. You must put an end immediately. And that end will come only when you look at that problem with the consciousness being the tool that you have. The mind cannot set that right, because the mind is very highly corrupt.